안녕하세요, Minah입니다. Okay, so I'm going to do something that's a little bit different, but also that's something that's pretty much the same as I've been doing for a while, and also since the beginning of my making YouTube videos thing. I'm just going to be sitting down and talking about the things that are on my mind, talking about the things that things that I think about, feelings, thoughts, concepts, ideas, worries, excitement. I'm really tired right now, actually. I haven't slept well in a few weeks. I actually have this watch, which is the Huawei, what's it called, smartwatch, and it's keeping track of like how much I walk and sleep and stuff like that, which is pretty neat. And I find it quite interesting to see how much I sleep. And lately I have slept really horribly. I haven't fallen asleep before 5 a.m. in like 2.5 weeks. And it's not just because I sit up during the night. It's not that I'm just staying up, playing games, reading books, doing whatever I want. Sometimes that's the case. But for the most part, it's just I go to bed and I just lie awake for hours and hours and hours. And part of that is because I think about stuff. I have so many thoughts. And I'm not saying that people in general don't have thoughts, but lately I feel like I have an extra bunch of thoughts. And I figured, the main reason why I started making YouTube videos is because I had a lot of interests and a lot of thoughts and a lot of ideas that I didn't feel like I had anyone to listen to. Like, I could talk to my parents about it, but they don't necessarily understand everything I say, like all of my interests and my ideas and my thoughts. They have a very different mindset than me. And at the time, I really didn't have a lot of friends that shared like my most deep-set interests and thoughts, I guess you could say, and values. Particularly my values, I feel like I have a hard time finding someone to really connect with on that level. So I'm going to be making video diary videos like this, hopefully every Monday. So I'm gonna try to get better at consistency, and I know this is not necessarily the content that people like to watch, but it's content that is really important for me to make. It's something that I need to be able to get out and to express. By the way, am I weird with a ponytail? I don't usually wear one. I only have my hair in a ponytail if I'm working out, which is never, or if I'm washing my face, which is occasionally. Okay, so for today's video diary, I just want to talk about all my thoughts, and not all of them, not like going into detail with all of them. I just want to mention what they are, because a lot of them are eventually going to turn into their own video diary videos, because they are things that I think so much about and I have so many thoughts, and I'm very confused about a lot of it, which is why I've been holding off on this for a long time. I've been meaning to film video diary because I just feel like it helps me, I very often talk to myself, and I very often write down my thoughts and my feelings and my plans and whatnot, just on notepads or in like books. I don't really keep a normal diary, but I just write down a lot of my thoughts a lot and very often, and I talk to myself a lot very often, and it helps me to get it out there. And I want to make a video of it just because I make videos. So yeah, I haven't slept well lately. Generally speaking, I'm done after 7 hours. Like if I have 7 hours of sleep, I'm fine. That's when I will wake up by myself. Recently, I've dropped down to like below 6 hours average of sleep, but usually it's like, okay, I get 4 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep, 2 hours of sleep, 10 hours of sleep, because I'll be so tired and I'll just kind of catch up on it. Not on purpose necessarily, but I'll just kind of basically just black out and I'll stay asleep, or I will wake up after a set amount of hours and then I'll fall asleep again because, life. So I sleep really bad, but I'm averaging kind of okay. So I'm surviving, but I'm also not feeling very well very often. And I guess lack of sleep is making all of my worries and all my thoughts amplified in a way. So what are my thoughts? I do want to just mention them relatively quickly. I'm not very good at doing things quickly, but I'll try. They range from very like deep-set things to things that are a little bit more superficial. Like for example, what's for dinner? That's not something that takes up a lot of my time, but it's one of the things that I think about a lot because I'm really sick of food. I love food, but the things that I know how to make are kind of limited, and I want to make new stuff. And usually when I try to make new stuff, it works out really well. But now that I'm sleeping so little and I'm feeling so out of energy all the time, it's really hard for me to actually get up and chop up a lot of things and do things in several steps and prep stuff and cook stuff. It's really, really hard for me to make really good food, and it's bothering me a lot because I get so sick of food. I might as well not eat, and I know it's extremely dumb, but I tend to just not eat if I don't want to eat anything. I'm not really the kind of person who can just eat to survive. Like, I will do it eventually, but if I have the choice between not eating and eating something that I don't want, I usually just don't eat, which I know is dumb and I'm working on it, but And then there's a lot of stuff like I miss my friends. I have a lot of friends around the world that I don't get to see very often because, you know, it's expensive to travel around the world. But I also have friends back like in my hometown and stuff like that. Friends that are far away right now because I moved, and I miss them. I miss them a lot. And it's hard for me to keep a long distance friendship. Like, it kind of works with some of them. Some of them are more like chill with distance than others. But I personally connect with people way better when I actually get to spend time with them. That's how I mainly connect with people. So just sending messages and stuff like that, eventually it becomes really hard for me to keep up with it, I guess. I also miss my family. My family is like pretty much all back home. I think I have like almost all of my family, at least my like close family. I have all of that in the same town, my hometown. I have some family here in Bergen, which is my grandmother's sister, but I do miss my family, and I miss doing stuff with them, and I miss just being able to feel really comfortable and stuff like that, so I do miss that a lot. And there's just a lot of people that I really want to connect with, like reconnect with, or connect with from often, like someone that I've gotten familiar with, and I'm like, I wish we could be friends, and I don't know how to do that. Or people that I used to be close with. It could be family members, it could be friends, that I really want to reconnect. I just don't know how, and it's scary. So I'm worried about that. And then there's also things like money. I'm not going to lie, I want to be honest, because that's kind of the only thing that I have going for me, is that I can be kind of very honest and very like, I don't even know how to explain it. I can be honest. So I've been thinking maybe I should just do that. Money is a problem these days. We're barely making it go around. I don't live at home anymore. We moved to a city that's pretty far away, so it's not just like, oh, I'm going home, or I'm going home for dinner, or I go home to ask my mom if I can have some cheese. So we're currently in a bit of a sticky situation where we're kind of thinking, can we even living here? Can we even keep living here? Can we afford that? Are we going to be able to be, like, where are we going to go otherwise? I have a cat now. I have a beautiful, cute little cat, and I love her so much, and I'm always worried she's gonna get sick, or she's gonna be like hurt, or whatever. Is she healthy? Do I have to take her to the vet? I don't really have the money for that. I do have her insured, so if she gets sick, I can take her to the vet. But I want to take her for like just a normal checkup, and I can't really afford it. I will make money for that anyways, because, you know, cat, I wouldn't have a cat if I wasn't going to prioritize her health, right? But that too is a worry. If we have to move, like if we can't afford this apartment, we could find something that's a little bit cheaper, but it would be very hard because you have a cat. If you go to like fin.no, which is like the site, if you want to find like, you know, apartments and stuff, you can go there and you can select Bergen, and I think you're gonna, and like apartments, and you're probably going to get at least like 800 hits on apartments and stuff. Now, if you tick the box that says pets allowed, you will be down to like 40. But yeah, that's a bit of a worry. If we have to leave, if you have to move, it's not that easy when you have a cat. And she's so cute and I love her so much, and I just wanted to have a really good life, and she likes it here. We can't really get an apartment that is a lot smaller because I think she would not be able to, like, you know, move around as much. We are taking her out on walks, but she's not allowed to walk out freely. So yeah, that's the thing. I also want to write more. I want to create stuff more. And this is, I don't even know if this is a worry, this is more just a thing that I want, but is kind of unable to do, and haven't been unable to write for a while now. It's like kind of like a mix between writer's block and just emotionally unable. It's just hard. I don't know, it makes me sad. I think partially it's because when I wrote my book and I published it by myself and I sold it to friends and family, I still ended up with a lot of it. And I know this is normal to have authors end up with like a bunch of their own books. But I think, honestly, if I'm going to be completely honest with you now, I was kind of expecting it to be a bit of a bigger deal. Because it was to me. It was a really big deal to me. I always dreamt about, you know, publishing a book. And even if it was self-publishing, it felt really big to me. But to people around me, even people in my immediate family and my friends, it was like, oh yeah, that's cool, and then done. And then we were done with it. So it like lasted about 3 days, I think. My excitement and my feeling like I really did something great and I was proud and I was happy, it lasted for about 3 days. And then it just kind of flew over. And I wasn't expecting like a parade to last for weeks or something. If you look at my life right now, and you look at my life back then, like before the book, it's the exact same, except I have a big box with a bunch of books under my desk. So I guess I'm like emotionally scared about putting myself and my effort and everything in me into a book again, because it just made me feel like what I made didn't matter. And it also made me feel like I didn't matter because I put so much of myself in the book, right? It's really dumb. I should just focus on myself and be happy about what I did and not care about what other people think. But that's not always easy, and you have to be honest with yourself about these feelings. I think that's important. I also want to learn languages and I want to travel. Those are things that I really, really love. And I'm not drinking my tea because it's hot, sorry. I want to travel more, don't have the money for it. I want to practice language more, don't have the time, kinda. Which leads me on to another thing, school. I am currently going to college. The college is really close to my apartment, but I don't want to continue in that college. I want to, okay, so basically I wanted to get into a bachelor in Japanese, but I didn't get in. So instead I took like the second best choice, which was pedagogy? I'm not sure how it is in English. It's basically education. So that was like the second best. That was my second choice because it felt like a sensible choice. And then I started doing it and then I realized I hate it. So that's a bit of a problem. So I want to quit and I want to do something else that will give me more of, I don't know, something that gives me something back, right? Because right now, I'm not getting anything. I'm not getting enjoyment, I'm not getting knowledge that I care about, I'm not feeling anything good, I'm not getting money or anything. So I want to quit and do something else and then apply again next year, hopefully get in. If I don't get in next year, then, you know, I get more points, like 8 points the year after that, so that's gonna be like my last chance without doing anything, just waiting. So I want to quit, but I don't know what I'll do otherwise. And that's kind of like my main problem. I have decided to not go to this study anymore starting from fall, right? Because there's no point in quitting now because, you know. So from New Year's, I'm gonna have to find something else to do that does bring in money. I've been thinking about a lot of options and I think I could make a whole video about that, but the point is, I have a lot of options, but none of them seem like the right one or the perfect one. It's just, I'm having a really hard time figuring out what to do. And that made me realize I don't know what I want to do with my life anymore. And it's so, like, a lot of people don't. And it's fine. But I have always known what I wanted to do. And I've changed it many times, but I've always had a very clear idea of where I wanted to get in life. When I was really young, I wanted to be a carpenter like my dad, and then I wanted to be a writer, and then I wanted to be a writer, and then I wanted to be a writer, and then I developed an interest in language and stuff, and then I wanted to do like language and maybe be like a translator or something like that. Then I got an interest in media stuff, and then I wanted to do something within media, maybe YouTube, but you know, this right here is not gonna make it on YouTube because I'm not interesting, so, but I don't know what I want to do. And that's scary to me because I always knew. And I've lost so much faith in myself the last few years. I don't even think I can write anymore. I don't know if I'm good or not. I always thought I was and I'm not. I don't think I am. I should get a job, honestly. And I'm trying. I have applied to a couple places. They didn't want me. It's just important to me that I get a job that doesn't make me unhappy because I have worked in a grocery store for a while. I worked there for like a good year and a half, and I like parts of it, but I really don't want to go back to that kind of work. It would be fine if it was like a store, like I applied to a bookstore or something like that. It would be fine if it was like a specialty store, like the certain, not theme. I'm not sure you understand what I mean, but basically not a grocery store, because I feel like people are just horrific in grocery stores. You can like Google it, people who work in grocery stores and like horror stories because oh my god. So yeah, I don't want to get a job that makes me happy. Honestly, it all boils down to this. I want to start making choices that make me happy, not choices that are smart or make sense or necessary. I want to do things that I want to do. And that's where I'm at in life right now, and it's scary because it's not that easy. There's also like, what should I do with YouTube? Because that's something that takes up a lot of my mind. I think about it a lot. What should I do with YouTube? Like, what kind of content should I make? What do people want to watch? What do I want to make? Like, there has to be a balance. Because obviously, I notice very easily what kind of things get watched on my channel, right? And that is stuff about Norway and K-beauty. So it's easy for me to see kind of like what would people like to watch, but then also what do I want to make? Because I love K-beauty and stuff, but I'm not really into it on like a professional level. It's hard for me to sit down with a product and be like, yes or no. But then again, some products stick out to me, and those are the ones that I want to talk about. So I don't think K-beauty will be like a particularly regular thing, but it is actually a big part of my life, like this interest of mine of K-beauty and Korea and Japan and everything that those two things include, I'm with. Anyways, those two are really big parts of my life, so they will show up and they will be part of my channel because this is my corner of the internet, which is funny because I'm sitting like on the opposite of a corner right now. Haha. And finally, a thing that's been really actually two things. One, Christmas. I'm always worried about Christmas because I have very mixed feelings. I think it's cozy, I think it's nice, and it means something to me. But at the same time, Christmas, it's like such a danger zone for my mental capacity, I guess, or whatever. I've had some really good experience during Christmas, but I've also had some of my saddest days during Christmas time. And I'm not really sure why. I don't know, I feel like maybe it's because I feel like there's so much pressure on being happy and it's hard for me to be happy on command. I don't know. I haven't really figured it out. It's just Christmas could be really wonderful or Christmas could be super sad. And New Year's is a whole different story that we're not gonna talk about. Finally though, and this is not a sad thing. This is an extremely exciting and also nerve-wracking kind of thing. Do you know those DNA tests that people take? To kind of get like their ancestry stuff and like ethnicity things and maybe even DNA matches to family members you didn't know existed. Imagine doing that when you are adopted and you know nothing of your ethnical heritage. Is that the right term? Biological heritage? You know what I mean. Because I mentioned this before and I'm going to make a whole video just talking about my adoption story or whatever. Because I know nothing, right? Because I was left, as far as I know, I was abandoned on the staircase or something. I was abandoned as a baby and the hospital took me and be like, yes, you shall survive. And then I was adopted really quickly. I landed in Norway 2 months exactly after my birth, which is kind of cool. I landed here on New Year's Eve. And then there was a sale on, I've been thinking about it for a while to be honest, and there was a sale on my heritage. And I wasn't sure which site to use honestly, because I was like, it's important for me that they have coverage in Asia. And it's hard for me to know exactly what coverage they have in Asia. But I just took the one that was on sale to be honest. So it ended up being my heritage. And if I'm not happy with it, at some point I will save up and I will try something else. The other day, I got an email saying that my samples have arrived at the lab in Texas, I think. And I've been feeling a lot of stuff since the whole thing kind of started, ever since I actually received the kit and I made the sample and then I sent the sample and then suddenly a while later, like over 2 weeks later, it arrived. I could talk about that forever. But there's so many thoughts connected to that my heritage thing. Like, should I tell my parents? What happens if I actually find DNA matches? Do I even want to find DNA matches? Do they want to find me? What is my story? Because I was delivered to my parents under kind of shady circumstances, and I don't know. What if everyone that would be like my immediate family are dead? What if I don't find anything? What if I find things that I don't want to find? What if I'm like a love child and I'm not supposed to show up? You know? What if I'm like the child of an affair and then I just come in and I'm like, hi, biological people. And they're like, you ruined our perfectly calm and happy family life. And what if I find nothing, right? That's kind of like the worst thing. What if I find absolutely nothing? So, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that I've been really like, that's kept me up at night, honestly. Like, I can't sleep and then I just go on the My Heritage thing and I'm just like, it says the results are expected between, I'm stuttering a lot because this is like hard to talk about. It says that the results are expected between December 11th and December 18th. I'm going back home for Christmas on December the 15th. I'm making a video on that separately. Like, I made a video of me like doing samples and a sample and a couple shorter videos of thoughts. I'm just gonna mush it all together with the actual, like, I'm gonna film when I actually take a look at the results. And I mean, it could like end up being nothing, like it could end up changing my life in no way whatsoever. But I'm so excited and curious and worried and so yeah. Those are some, if not most, of my thoughts these days. They're mostly negative / not pleasant, which is not really on purpose, it's just, I don't know, life isn't always easy, and right now I would definitely say it's in a period of being a little uneasy. I don't think I've ever in my life been so unsure about what to do and what I want to do and what I want to be and how I'm going to find a happy life. And I just needed to talk about that. So in the coming weeks, I'm going to upload video diary hopefully every Monday. And I might go back and I might film some back to back. So if you find that a little annoying, then I do apologize. But sometimes when you sit down to talk, it's hard to stop. So I might film another one, like a few back to back right now, just because I need to get those thoughts off my chest. Honestly. And I hope you're okay with it. And you don't have to watch them at all. If you would rather just know what it's like to be in college in Norway, or if you would like to know if the BB cream I'm wearing right now is a good one, which it is, by the way, then watch those videos. And you're free to only watch those. And yeah, but I'm going to be making these because I need to, and they're for me. And I'm happy about that. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I didn't take a single sip of tea. but it's really hot and I don't take hot very well. Like I can take spicy pretty well, but I cannot drink very hot liquids without burning my tongue, and I hate burning my tongue because I absolutely hate having like those little blisters on my tongue. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening to me just talking about my worries and my thoughts. I really needed to get this out there. I've been thinking about it for a while, so I'll see you soon, and I'll try to be more consistent and try to be patient with me because I'm going through stuff. So yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye bye. 안녕.